Hello, campaigning against climate change people. Other people, you might not be too interested in this. I'm just going to go through the minutes of our last meeting because, as you know, people hate to read minutes, but there's some really important stuff that everyone needs to know. Okay, so these are the minutes for the 18th of September 2007. Okay, first off, we went through the things that have happened since the last meeting. Jeff has agreed that he's going to Oxford to the National Campaign Against Climate Change meeting. Ali, David and Caitlin joined Bill and a few of his friends at the Aberdeen exhibition of Aberdeen Conference Centre to highlight the various dubious associations of big oil companies, particularly Guantanamo Bay, and also to offer positive career choices to these people. Mandy Meikle of Depletion Scotland has been booked to attend the Aberdeen Arts Centre by Alan and Almut on October 29th. She'll be talking about climate change, peak oil and transition towns. We need to get a time for that. Calvin and Caitlin attended the Freshers' Fair to leaflet the new students to speak to Shared Planet and the Vegan Society, which Calvin joined, and to speak to other societies as well. Calvin can confirm that everyone's invited to Ballater for a fundraiser on Saturday the 22nd. Mary is well on the in the process of applying for a group bank account, which is really good news. So then the main agenda items: critical mass. The first new critical mass is going to be on October 13th. This will start at Castlegate at 1 PM and there will be a cycle ride to the RBS by the Royal Bank of Scotland next to Marks and Spencer's for 2 PM. This will tie in with a Rising Tide National Day of Action against the Royal Bank of Scotland, which calls itself the Oil and Gas Bank. There's a related report linked to a report on that in the minutes. We're going to need to check the Rising Tide website for theme and materials and also figure out who's doing the press release. We had a new member of the group, I think you'd pronounce it Lucas, who came from Poland, and he's got a great deal of experience with critical mass, so it would be good to keep him involved, and hopefully he's interested, and that would be really good. Depletion Scotland, we need a time, we need to figure out who's doing posters and a press release for that. We're on the that will be on the 29th of October. 2 days before that we're going to have a stall outside Marks and Spencer's. Calvin, David and Ali will be doing that. Ali's going to bring a table, that's from 12:30 onwards. We also need to invite council members to that. This is as part of the idea of transition towns. I think there was a fair amount of support for that, so we're going to have to try and get the local council involved more with what we're doing. Transition towns, Jodie from Shared Planet came and spoke about transition towns. Quite a bit of it is areas we're already interested in, particularly a couple of our new members on the day of the meeting were interested in sustainable transport, as were Caitlin and Calvin. So perhaps taking on sustainable transport part of a transition town would be a good idea. The next thing was Christian Aid. We got an email from Christian Aid, World Development Movement and Friends of Earth, about lobbying Anne Begg and Frank Duran, the two local Aberdeen MPs, and particularly about arranging a meeting. We think that they want us to put on a meeting, so I'm going to phone up Christian Aid and check that out, check they want us to put a meeting on and try and find a date. Hopefully it's sometime in November. There's going to be a university film night regularly with a group of societies being involved in that. So we need to find a couple of documentaries or a film that we'd like to show. Carbon offsetting, sustainable urban transport, and Cuba's adaptation to not having oil would be 3 examples that people were interested in. Calvin and Helena are going to be looking into transport documentaries. Almet has a documentary on offsetting, and also we think Cuba. We need to check that out. This is on a regular schedule, but we're not sure what day of the week it is. Calvin's going to ask Jody about this. The venue is New Kings 10. We also, this is the sort of thing that if it's going to really work, we're going to have to go to this meeting on the 29th of September, which is university groups. It could basically, if it was American, they'd be labelled progressive, but any environmental, ethical organisations, they're all getting together on the 29th. So this is something that should be raised, along with the transition towns idea, which hopefully we can find elements that various different groups would be interested in taking on. The next meeting is on October the 3rd at New Kings 3. Pippa from Shared Planets organising this for us, but we all need to check that. It's also possible that in the future a chaplaincy would be a place that we can use even without being a society, without being a university society, so we need to check that out. There are important climate camp meetings coming up. One in Glasgow on the 21st and 22nd of October, we think, but this hasn't been confirmed yet, to discuss the climate camp and what happens on December the 8th with regards a march in London, or more likely now an event in Edinburgh or Glasgow. Calvin's going to this meeting and will keep the group up to date. There's also a meeting, the first national climate camp meeting since the climate camp will be in Oxford on November 3rd and 4th. Calvin's going to this, but as many people as possible should go along to that. Actually, it was more important to get a good group of people along to the Glasgow meeting. It's probable we can get some Shared Planet people along to that. I hope they're interested. And whoever else we can. I think a few people from the meeting were interested in going along that. So if we can get half a dozen people, that would be really good. I've just got more information about this, and it looks like Stop Climate Chaos and their members list, and quite a large number of people in Scotland might be interested to going to this. So it could end up being quite a broad group. Right, I think that's all I wanted to say. I don't want to editorialise too much, just wanted to read out the minutes, and we need to, the main dates are October the 29th for the Depletion Scotland meeting, the 27th, which is a couple of days before that for the stall, October 13th, which is the RBS protest and the critical mass. We're also going to be leafleting, obviously, about the Depletion Scotland event at that. The 29th of of September, so that's the only event that people have got to get to before the next Campaign Against Climate Change meeting, which is the Student Societies group. Then the next meeting, October the 3rd, the 21st and 22nd of October for the Climate Camp meeting, we think, and then November 3rd and 4th for the National Climate Camp meeting.